Hello, and welcome to the 2020 virtual State of the City event, the Broken Arrow Chamber of Commerce. My name is Jennifer Conway, and I'm the President and CEO of the Broken Arrow Chamber and Economic Development Corporations. Now, you did hear me right. I did say 2020 State of the City, and yes, I am aware it's 2021, but we did have grand plans to host all of you here at Stony Creek Hotel and Conference Center for the luncheon in December. But unfortunately, COVID had other plans. And crazily, things didn't just magically change at the stroke of midnight on December 31st. So we're still here. However, it's been too long since we've been able to get out and about. And so the city manager and I thought it would be great to bring this virtual event right here at Stony Creek, as we would if we could be with you right here in person and host this version of State of the City. Now, we wanted to make sure you were able to get that good old chamber luncheon feeling, minus the chamber chicken. Now, I'd like to take a moment and thank our 2020 State of the City sponsors. And without you, accomplishing the work of the chamber would not be possible. Our presenting sponsor today is Floral Haven Funeral Home, IBT, the Persimmon Group, Tulsa Community College, Tulsa Tech, and Vast Bank. Our monthly sponsors today are GTR Newspapers, the new member table, joining us virtually today, Jan Pro, and our table sponsors, Ascension St. John, GH2, JD Young, and Tulsa Tech. Thank you to each of you for understanding the challenges that we face today, but still investing in our chamber. I do also want to give a special shout out to Stony Creek Conference Center and Resort and our friend Vince Snelling and all his staff for helping us pull this event together in a short time and making sure that we can present to you today. So I'm gonna have to admit something right now. I'm starting to get a little nervous, but to keep on time, I went ahead and got this meeting started. But I have to be honest, Michael Spurgeon isn't here yet. So that's okay, no worries. He did give me a video. I can go ahead and get that started. So we're gonna do that. I'm sure he'll be here in no time. So sit back and relax and enjoy this little video, and we'll see you soon.
Well, that's it. I appreciate the opportunity to catch you up on a few things that are happening. What's going on in your world?
Well, I'm telling you, we've got a lot of great things planned for 2021. Just had some fantastic staff meetings. We've been brainstorming and dreaming about what this year is going to bring us. We know it's going to be amazing. We're going to be launching a leadership summit in September. We're adding to our existing events, of course, planning for Rooster Days, as we know that our community is going to be in a good spot at that point. Really just coming up with more ways to help our business community. Our Workforce Center, of course, will be open by January, and how we can better serve our Broken Arrow businesses, as well as our getting more people employed in Broken Arrow. So tons going on in 2021.
Super cool.
But you know what? That reminds me, the State of the City is only a week away. How are you doing with your presentation?
Can you believe that it's almost already been a year? Because it doesn't seem like it's just a little over a year ago we actually gave the State of City. I just can't believe it. I mean, as you know, 2020 has definitely been a blur. It's going very well. I mean, there's a lot that we have been trying to narrow down, my team and me, to put together for the State of the City. And so I'm pretty excited about being able to share all the great things that happened in 2020, despite that all we faced in this very difficult year.
Yeah, when we look at it, we've come out of a lot, and we're still going through a lot, but our community has done a fantastic job. You know, I have a good feeling that this week you'll be inspired on your topics. So I trust it's going to be as amazing as it is every year.
Inspired. Wow, I like that. I really do, because you think about all that happened this year. I need to make a note of that. Absolutely.
I know it'll be great, but you know what? Sorry, I gotta run, and you have a great rest of your week. We'll see you very soon on that for your presentation.
Okay, my friend. Take care. Good to visit with you. Talk soon. Okay, bye-bye. Oh, yeah. Russell, where are you? ideas for State of the City.
I think you should highlight the city's COVID response. Will do. I got time for one more hole.
$17, $18, $19. Spotter, need help. Help.
We got you, Michael.
Get it!
Oh, man.
Good job.
Thanks, guys. Whoa. Vice Mayor, Brent, what are you guys doing, man?
Well, what are you doing?
Well, actually, I'm out preparing for the State of the City presentation, trying to get it all pumped up.
Yeah, well, that's important. It's important to be prepared. But don't forget about, when you do that speech, don't forget about the arts.
Wait a second. Let me get my phone here because I got to write this down.
It's important. Don't forget about the arts. Don't forget about all the shows going on at the PAC this year. Don't forget about the Creative Arts Center. They're going to be breaking ground on that soon. And we've got the mural going in at the museum. That's very important. Big stuff.
Yeah, big shout out for downtown Julie Brown and all they're doing for the museum. That's great.
Yeah, arts
Brent,
are important.
Absolutely. Brent, anything to add to what the Vice Mayor said?
Not only do we have to allude to what he said, Mr. Spurgeon, we've got great new businesses coming in the Rose District. We've got Rustic Chop House, high-end steakhouse coming in. We've got Taylor Brewing Company coming in on Commercial Street. We're seeing the Rose District expand out. There's so much going on with new businesses in the Rose District, Mr. Udy. It's hard to keep up with.
It is. Don't forget the Brio.
Oh, that's right. $22 million private investment, the apartments, the mixed use. That's incredible. You know, I've got all these now written down, but it just goes to show us the type of competence the private sector has in making those new investments. It's going to create more jobs, more places to shop local, and make Broken Arrow continue to be a destination. So that's great. Listen, I've got one more set, then I got to get back to the office. So just stick around in case I can't get this.
Get it, PGA strong.
That's right. Let's do it, baby. Here we go. Ah. Yeah, okay, guys, you can let go. I got it. Yeah.
Get it.
All right. Man, that's a good looking truck. It really is, really is.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, Mr. Spurgeon, but I think you missed a spot right here.
Oh, really? Yeah, you're right, Chief. I did miss a spot.
Fantastic. Well, thanks for being out here today and giving us a hand. I hear you're working on the State of the City address.
Yeah, it's going pretty well. Right now, I'm just taking all my notes to make sure I can talk about all the great things that have happened in 2020.
Well, I've got a few things.
Okay.
You know, don't forget these fire trucks and the ambulances. Those were purchased with bond money that our citizens voted on. We broke ground on 2 fire stations this year, so that's fantastic. And we've had a lot of promotions, and we've got the best rating for a fire department in the nation, of an ISO rating of 1 this year. So please include that and thank our voters for all the support they're giving to us.
All right, I got all those things. Absolutely, those are wonderful. We just have such a great committee, so strongly supports public safety in our fire department. So I've got them right here. Well, listen, let me finish what I got to do right here, and then I'll see you at the ceremony.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Thank you,
all
sir.
Right. You want to get that spot for me?
I guess I'm gonna have to.
Yes. Hey, what's up, brother? You know, I haven't decided yet. I normally get the raspberry walnut salad with chicken. I love it, but since I normally always get that, you know what? I think I'm gonna try this sliders with some French fries. I'm gonna go off the. Okay, I'm gonna go off the diet here and go with that this time. Okay. Okay, brother. Thanks a lot, man.
Here's your order, sir.
Larry, What are you doing, man?
Hey, I saw you walk in and know you're working on the state of the city,
Yeah.
so I thought I would pop in, maybe remind you a couple of things that have been going on in community development.
Absolutely. What's happening?
Well, you know, as we
Let me
did,
write this down. Go ahead, brother.
absolutely. You know, as you know, we did the Tulsa Transit Update study for the year, and
Big.
really excited by the turnout that we got, and excited that we're going to be updating to be more accessible to our citizens, have curbside service, be able to get them through, you know, text or through phone calls, so it'll be much more available to our citizens.
Very excited about that. You know, providing that additional access for all of our citizens is so important.
Absolutely.
It is.
The other big thing that, you know, we have going on in our department is the record number of home starts that we've had in the city. We're leading the metro. I mean, by leaps and bounds. We had 685 new home starts so far for the year, and it's not even over yet.
685?
685.
Now that's basically throughout the entire community, or is it concentrated in any one area?
I mean, you know, development's happening throughout the entire city, but, you know, South Side's really popping, and East Side's really popping as well. So a lot of development going on in our city, a lot of exciting things happening.
You know, that development down south, those additional rooftops, is so important for economic development in order to entice the retail commercial, don't you think?
Absolutely. You know, when we talk to developers and things, they always ask, hey, what's the rooftop count? What's the population count going on down there? And so that's what they look for. And so by having those increased numbers happening, more development to come.
All right, well, listen, I'm going to go ahead and dig in here, but I appreciate the information. I'm going to have lunch. I'm going to get back to the office, and I'll make sure I add that to my list of accomplishments for the state of the city.
All right.
All right, brother. Thanks a lot, man.
Talk to you later.
Keep up the great work, Larry.
Thank you.
All right, here we go. Which one first? Hey, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing great.
Are you picking up or dropping off today?
Absolutely, I'm dropping off in the green bag.
Would you like a receipt or just dropping it off?
I'm dropping off and I'm picking up as well. Yeah,
And the last name?
Spurgeon, Michael Spurgeon. Okay.
That'd be $20.20
Okay.
plus a tip.
Plus
Any
a tip?
that you might give.
Johnny, what are you doing?
How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Well, I saw you coming through the driveway, and I thought I'd better remind you about the State of the City
Yes.
address that you're supposed to be giving in the next week or so.
That's exactly, I'm working on it right
So,
now.
well, great.
You got any suggestions on any things I should include?
You know, the one thing I would suggest is our new sanitation system.
Yes.
The recycling, the citizens have been involved with that for several years, the council, and it's just a great thing coming to the city and having curbside recycling.
You know, I know that's something that's been very important to you for many, many years, and it's just awesome that we actually got it implemented.
Right.
Very excited.
Getting a lot of positive feedback about it.
I am too. I tell you, it's so great to be able to create that program to help keep our earth safe and improve on sustainability, you know, by recycling all the material. And I think the residents are going to really like it in the coming years.
I'm excited about it.
Well, you excited for State of the City?
I'm excited to hear you speaking. Yeah, that's right. That's great.
Well, I just want to make sure that we report on all the great things that happened this year. So,
Right.
man, I just can't believe you're here. I really appreciate that.
I just didn't want you to forget it.
Oh, I won't
I saw
forget.
you here, so I thought I'd remind you. You might put it in your phone.
I will. Let me
Okay.
see. All right, let me make a note here real quick. Okay, I got it.
Okay.
All right, I got to get back to the office, but I appreciate your time, and I'll see you soon.
Send me that tip.
Okay, I will.
All right.
I'll put it in the mail.
Have a good
All right.
Michael, what are you doing?
Kenny, what's up, buddy?
I'm just out here checking out 37th Street.
Oh, man, what's happening?
Rocky did a great job on this.
Yeah, I'm just out getting some fresh air and kind of just getting tuned up for the State of the City. You and were Rocky's out here? Or
Rocky's been out here. I'm just trying to sign off on the work, taking a look at it.
Yeah, this is beautiful.
Best it's ever been.
Yeah, so
Best
what
it's
else
been.
you got going on?
A whole lot of work.
You do?
Yeah,
Well,
let me show you
let's
something.
take a look.
Talking about fresh air and good ideas. Let me
Yeah,
show you
baby.
something.
All right, brother, here we go.
Absolutely. So, yeah, I actually have a pointer as well. So
You came prepared, did you?
yeah, I was a Boy Scout once.
All right.
So one of the first streets that you want to talk about is the widening of Washington. That's
yeah.
actually what Rocky and his crews are doing. They're doing an
they've
outstanding job.
Just stepped up.
Yeah, and the intersection at Washington and Aspen is looking fantastic.
Sure is.
That contractor's doing wonderful. We also had another contractor working on Florence down in front of the Aspen Creek Elementary. That's looking well. The county line trunk sewer, we started it about a year ago. It's almost done. It's taken a full year, just $16 million.
16, that's amazing.
It's a huge project, but we've had a lot of overflows in the past, and that's going to put a stop to a lot of that. Obviously, 37th Street till 9th, the one that you are riding by, that's just a repair. That's not the final product.
Yeah.
We're going to widen the road, but now we're getting ready to start the utilities on it. We've also had streetscape, downtown. That one has finished up. We just kicked off Kenosha, Date to Maine.
It's big.
Bunch of traffic, working pretty well. That one's going to take a little while, but
We
it's
love
just
those
started.
orange cones, don't we?
It means progress.
That's
it
right.
means progress. Another one I wanted to point out was Hillside Drive.
Yeah.
That retaining wall is looking great. We're actually taking a look at trying to address some sidewalk improvements in there as well.
How long is that wall going to last? 1,000 years?
1,000 years,
Okay.
Michael.
That's what I want to hear, baby.
We're looking forward to that. So all of this has been great progress this year.
It has. It's been incredible. Every time we've asked the voters to step up and provide funds for public transportation, they've always come through, and it's just amazing what we're able to do to be able to keep up with the growth that's currently going on within our community. Make sure people can get to work, to and from home, to the ballpark safely. So
Absolutely.
it's amazing.
Transportation is so key to our success. So.
It is. Well, listen, man. You do a great job, brother. I'm blessed to be call your friend, and the great work that you're doing. Rocky, his team, Ethan Edwards, everybody's just hitting it out of the ballpark. Couldn't be happier. I'm going to make a note or two here, and then I got about 3 more miles to ride, and then I'll be done for the day. But listen, I can't wait to the state of the city. You better get ready too, brother.
Look forward to it. Thanks, sir.
Take care, man.
Bye.
Let me get my tunes back on and be ready to go. What's up, Steven? How you doing, brother?
I'm surviving. How are you doing?
Man, I sure could use one of your teas.
All right, what are we thinking?
You know, I've been looking around and I see your specials over here. I'm gonna try the Black Widow. Absolutely. Okay.
All right.
Sounds good. I'll take a look around while you're fixing it.
Here's your tea, Michael.
Deborah, what are you doing?
Well, I knew you were coming in here, and I just wanted to remind you about the State of the City address.
Oh yeah, I'm working on it.
Good. Well, don't forget, we've got a lot of exciting things for our veterans in our city, so
Absolutely.
don't forget.
Wait. I'm gonna write these down so I don't forget. Okay, go ahead.
The Mission 22 War at Home Memorial.
That is so important.
Very much. I
Absolutely.
mean, creates awareness for suicides in our veterans. We're so excited about that.
You know, one of the only contemporary memorials we have in this country to honor those that are fallen when they get home.
Absolutely.
Okay, what else you got?
The Veterans Banners on Main Street. Yeah.
Second year.
That's right.
What is that for? That's a big fundraiser.
It is a fundraiser for Blue Star Moms and the Military History Center.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yep.
Okay.
And then our first annual Veterans Parade is coming up.
That's right. Yep. It's going to be every first Saturday of November, right?
Absolutely. So we don't conflict with Tulsa's parade, so everyone can come out and enjoy ours the first Saturday of November.
And who's sponsoring that?
Broken Arrow Elks.
That's right. I'm so glad the council agreed to do that.
I am
That's
too.
awesome. What else you got?
I think finally, kind of the biggest thing is the Broken Arrow Veterans Center.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we've already broke ground, so by next year,
yeah,
we should be in there, right?
I would think by late next summer, we ought to be in that building. So incredible to be supporting our veterans.
That's right.
All right, but listen, I've got all these right now. I have got to get back to the office, and I'm going to enjoy my tea.
Yes.
And so until then, you take care, and I'll see you sometime next week.
All right.
All right. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Okay. See you later. Okay, Brad, give me one right across the plate, baby. I'm going to take it out of here. I'll take a home run ball. Give me one. Give me a good one. Oh, a little bit outside. Give me a good one now. Oh, dang, man. Oh, man, what am I doing wrong? I just can't figure it out.
All right, listen.
What's up, buddy?
Listen, we're finally here.
You didn't see me miss those 2 balls, did you?
No one saw. Don't worry, no one saw. No one saw.
Okay.
Listen, we're finally here. We're at the Challenger Sports Complex, right?
Yes.
Let me break it down for you, okay? Check it out.
Okay.
We've got community garden on first base right
Yes.
here. Park and playground improvements on second.
That's right.
Dean High Skate Park on third.
Yeah.
Listen. All we need is a home run.
Home
Right
run.
here. That's it.
Okay, listen, I missed the first 2, man, but you just gave me the motivation. I'm taking this baby out of here,
All right, let's
baby.
see it. Let's see it.
I'm going yard right now, bro. I'm going yard. Stick around. Watch this. My man. Yeah. Hello, sir. How you doing today? I'm doing great. You got some great looking stuff. Here's my bag. I'd like to have some green tomatoes. I'll also take some honey, and I absolutely love eggplant, so I'll take some of your eggplant, okay? Mayor, what are you doing here?
Hey Michael, how are you? Good to see you.
I'm doing great. I'm actually just enjoying a beautiful Saturday here in the award-winning Rose District, enjoying the farmer's market. What are you up to?
Well, not much, Michael. I guess you're working on your State of the City address?
Matter of fact, I am.
Well, I made an award for you, and I was hoping that you could mention these awards in your speech.
Well, let me get my phone out to make sure I get them. Okay, what are they, Mayor?
The ABC Excellence in Construction.
Okay.
The WWTP Headworks Award.
Wow.
The WEF Together Project, and my most important one, my favorite one, is City Manager of the Year that you won this year, and I'm really excited. And we all knew that you were very special and that you would be the City Manager of the Year.
Well, I was very honored and blessed to have received that recognition. So, absolutely, I'll include those in my State of the City presentation.
I'll just put these in your bag so you don't forget.
All right. Well, thanks, Mayor. I appreciate that. Okay, you have a good day.
Okay, you too.
I just can't get a bullseye. I can't figure out what I'm doing.
Yes.
Christy, how did you do that?
Focus.
Wow.
When you line up, you aim. Just, kind of like we do in that New Orleans Square right now.
Yeah.
We're holding committee meetings. We are doing marketing. We are doing tactical urbanism projects, and the Cypress Place that's happening right now. I mean, we have a lot going on behind the scenes.
Well, that's great information. I'm getting ready to give my presentation to the Chamber of Commerce, the State of the City, so I definitely need to include all those great things that not only the council did, but a lot of citizens that volunteered their time. So I'm going to add that to my list of things I'm going to mention the State of the City. Let me try this one more time. I think I got it this time.
Focus, remember.
Perfect. Oh. All right. Okay, I got to run now so I can get back to the office and work on my speech, but thanks for those good tips.
No problem. Get back to work.
Norm?
Hey, boss, what are you doing?
Man, well, no, more importantly, what are you doing, man?
Sometimes I come out here and I sit by the fire, and if it's kind of quiet, nobody's around, I just play a little music and relax. And, you keep us going so fast. I mean, it's high speed, low drag.
Okay.
And I just come here to kind of relax and enjoy life. What are you doing here?
You know, State of the City's coming up, and I just love this facility, the partnership the city had to get this wonderful facility and hotel here for travel and tourism. It's just been amazing. And you know what? I get inspired when I come over here for the very same reason that you do, just to get my thoughts together and write down all the great things that have happened in 2020.
Well, man, when you get ready to do it.
Well, here, let me sit down. Let me sit down. Here we go.
When you're doing your speech, because everybody loves your speech, don't forget to talk about the amazing economic development things that we've done. You know, manufacturing, third biggest in the state. Brio getting ready to open up. They're already, taking people in, $22 million on the north end of our Rose District. Talk about Creek 51 and, the business park that's been done out there. And that would have never happened without a partnership with the city. We have so many different things. New Orleans and Elm, the Rose District. Down south, there's fixing to be things happening in the south part of Broken Arrow that is just gonna blow people away. And our citizens are responding. They're shopping local. They're staying here to do their shopping. They're supporting the city services here. It's gonna be fantastic. I also get a kick out of, you about got every street in this city torn up.
Yeah.
And there's cones everywhere, and that's economic development.
It is. They say that, that type of progress, when you're building roads, widening roads, that inconvenience is as a result of the progress that a community is going to experience. And so, to me, I love seeing orange cones everywhere because I know they're temporary.
That's right.
And then what's going to happen is we're going to have these big, beautiful roads, brand new parks. Our stormwater systems are going to be much better to handle the stormwater that we get. And we're just going to continue to be a great community that attracts families, that attracts businesses, because people believe it's a safe community. And for businesses, it's a place where they can get a return on their investment. Well, I'm going to let you go because I could talk to you all day, my friend. I've got my notes made here. I've got to get back to City Hall. State of the City's right around the corner. I'll get out of your way, and basically you keep up the good work, brother.
All right.
All right, man.
You take care of yourself.
Okay. What's up?
Hey, Michael, what are y'all doing?
We just finished up at the new Rattlesnake Cafe. Just sitting here enjoying a beautiful afternoon in the Rose District. What are you doing?
Yeah, I had to get a coffee. I love coming here.
Oh, yeah, I'm so glad. It's a great addition to our award-winning Rose District. So what else is going on?
Well, I was just looking at the Thrive magazine. This is a great publication. Are
Sure
you
is.
going to mention it at State of the City?
I was planning to. It's one of the best pieces of transparency we put out every year. Talk about all the different great projects that are going on in our city, plus there's chock full of information about the service we provide. I'm definitely going to mention it.
Good. Don't forget our email program and how we went digital this year. Did you sign up yet for email
Certainly did.
news?
That's huge. Just trying to reach as many people as we can and provide that transparency of what's going on in their community.
Good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, have fun.
Okay, we
See you
will. Say
later.
bye-bye, Luna.
Hello, Michael. How are you?
What's happening, Jen? Good to see you.
Good to see you. While we're in the throes of prepping for State of the City, as we've been, of course, had to postpone it, but we're looking forward to having it on the 19th. So I just want to kind of check in on you, see how things are going, and kind of ask you, have you been inspired about this past year?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, despite the unprecedented pandemic that we've had to deal with, the city still had a very good year. We have such dedicated leadership team and our staff that we've continued to serve our citizens the best we can, considering all the circumstances we've had to deal with, and I'm very proud. And actually, I'm just about finished with the State of the City. Right now, I'm just working on my thank yous. There's been so many people within the organization, outside the organization, that have worked so hard to continue to help move our community forward that I'm really excited about finishing up my presentation and getting ready for January 19th.
Well, good, and I know it's going to be excellent as always, but I did want to give you a little bit of warning.
Okay.
Apparently Broken Arrow's not done with Christmas, and I think there's a little elf running around, so please be aware. I don't think someone put the elf back up in its box after Christmas, so watch out.
I definitely will, because apparently the elves have it's went from elf to elves, and they've multiplied. So, I constantly have my head on a swivel because simply don't know where they're going to show up. So I appreciate the heads up, and I will definitely keep my eye out for the elves, plural. So
Good.
Okay.
I want you to stay safe. Looking forward to it. Talk to you soon.
Sound good, my friend. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
First, I need to thank the residents of businesses of Broken Arrow. We definitely appreciate all their support. It's been a tough year for all of us, but despite all the challenges, we've still pulled together to support each other through some of the most challenging and unprecedented times in our country's history. Now, who do I need to thank specifically? Oh, I know. I got to start off with Jennifer Conway and Darla Heller from the Chamber and EDC. Man, I'll tell you, Jennifer and Darla and the whole EDC team did a great job throughout the entire year. I also want to specifically mention the fact that they created the BA Rising Task Force that helped with the reopening of our economy last spring. I'm certainly glad that Jennifer is the head of our chamber, and I'm proud to call her and all the members of the chamber one of the city's best partners. Okay, who else? Oh, I know. I need to thank the New Orleans Square Advisory Committee. This committee, which was made up of Broken Arrow residents, continued to meet throughout the entire pandemic in order to come up with recommendations for the revitalization of this very important area of our city. The committee submitted their findings this past August, and we've already started implementing the recommendations. I have to send a great big shout out to all the residents that served and helped us with this project. I know I definitely have to send out shout outs to Chiefs Brandon Berryhill and Jeremy Moore and all of the city's police and fire employees. Without question, we have the best police, fire, EMS departments, and emergency management operations in the state of Oklahoma. As I've said on many occasions over the last 5 years, the success of a community begins and ends with its commitment to public safety. I'm proud that BA keeps public safety as its top priority. Likewise, we appreciate the support the BA community gives to our police and fire departments. I'm also very gratified on how our public safety professionals have operated during this pandemic. Likewise, during the unrest that our country, state, and area experienced this year. We have the best of the best, folks. I'd like to finish up by saying how blessed our community is to have great leadership by Brandon, Jeremy, and their respective leadership teams. Thank you. Man, I'll tell you, there's been so much work that's been done all around our city this year. I know. I need to express my thanks to Assistant City Manager of Operations Kenny Schwab and Engineering and Construction Director Ethan Edwards. We were truly blessed to add Ethan to the leadership team earlier this year. In fact, we did right before the pandemic, and wow, he's turned out to be such a great addition. He's also added a number of additional employees to the department that really understand the importance of moving projects. You know, a lot of great work was completed this year on our public infrastructure. I know that to be true because there's orange cones, I should say, all over town. As a growing community, maintaining and expanding our critical infrastructure always has to be a priority. I credit the efforts of Kenny, Ethan, and the entire E&C team for getting the work done and keeping our community moving forward. Man, there's so many people internally I need to thank. Okay, I know. I need to express my appreciation to Jeanette McCormick, our HR director, Amber Moreno, and the entire HR department. Wow. Jeanette and her team did an incredible job of helping me and the entire leadership team navigate the constant changes associated with the pandemic. With all the changes that we faced on a daily basis, Jeanette was always on top of her game and never failed to provide great advice and solid leadership. I'm extremely grateful and appreciative of your team's effort, Jeanette. Thank you. On the lighter side, I know I need to mention who else but the elves. What can I say about the elves? They showed up last year and they haven't left yet. In fact, they're everywhere. You never know where they're going to show up next. What I'm most concerned about is the fact that their numbers might be growing. You never know. But I love their Christmas spirit. Man, we had some big things happen in 2020. Probably nothing bigger than implementing carts for trash and starting a curbside collection program for recycling materials. I need to send a really big thank you out to General Services Director Lee Zirk. Lee and his General Services team did yeoman's work implementing the transition to a cart system for trash and recycling materials. You know, I give Lee so much credit for the tenacity that he demonstrated to ensure this major public policy objective was completed. Lee, I want to thank you because you always believed that we could get this done and you never quit. You and your team have helped Broken Arrow become a more sustainable community. Thank you. You know, 2020 was a very challenging year. I was a little bit concerned about how the pandemic was going to affect the growth of our community. And as I look back on these statistics for the year, I was pleased to see that new housing starts were up all across the city. Plus, we have a number of new commercial and retail projects that are currently underway, and we have several more planned. Once again, these projects demonstrate that the private sector believes that Broken Arrow continues to be a community where they can make investments and get return on those investments. I need to send a thank you out to Larry Curtis and our community development team. You know, managing a development in a growing community is not for the faint of heart. Larry has shown that he has a steady hand on this growth, and he and his team work tirelessly to help those that want to make investments in our community find a way to do so. I'd also like to mention that the Community Development Department was instrumental in helping shepherd the New Orleans Square Citizens Advisory Committee through their review process. I especially want to call out the efforts of Farhad Daroga because he did an awesome job. You know, there are great folks in all divisions of community development, and I'm certainly grateful for all of their efforts to help us grow and expand our wonderful community. Thank you to all. You know, when the pandemic first happened back in early March, it was some pretty scary times around our community when we had to make some very tough decisions to shut down some of our economy. That was extremely scary for many businesses. I know I need to thank Norm Stevens, Lori Hill, and the entire TED team for their efforts during the pandemic, as well as with New Orleans Square and the Rose District. I'm proud to say that the TED team was all over Broken Arrow in 2020. During the pandemic, working with Jennifer Conway and Darla Heller from the Chamber, members of the TED team contacted as many businesses as they could and kept them updated on what was happening. Their efforts were definitely noteworthy. I also want to thank them for their hard work on the New Orleans Square revitalization and helping keep the Rose District viable. You know, I also need to thank Norm Stevens for agreeing to go in front of the camera to help talk about the importance of economic development and how it works. I'd like to thank Lori, Aaron, Steve, Brian, Brent, and Norm for all their hard work. God bless. I need to take this opportunity to recognize and thank the Mayor and City Council for their strong leadership throughout the year, especially during the early stages of the pandemic. You know, in 2020, the governing body had to make many tough decisions, whether it was about a planning and zoning application, some tough decisions we had to make with regard to the budget, or of course the pandemic. No matter what, I need to write this down, the council never shied away from their responsibility, and they always did what they thought was best for the Broken Arrow community. For your strong stewardship, leadership, and commitment to Broken Arrow, I say thank you. Let me take this opportunity to mention a group of folks that I could not have gotten through the year without, and that is my entire leadership team, or the city's leadership team. I'd be remiss if I didn't acknowledge the efforts of my entire leadership team for some great work during 2020. You know, I need to write this down. We have a playbook for a flood, and God forbid we even have one for a tornado. What we don't have is a playbook for a pandemic. That's right. When this started back in the first quarter of 2020, none of us knew exactly what to do. However, despite the personal risk that each of us faced, everyone stepped up and did their duty and continued to serve the citizens of our community in the safest and most proactive manner. No matter what the circumstances called for, each and every director in this organization stepped up and did what they needed to do to take care of their employees and our citizens. And for that, I will be eternally grateful. Man, oh man, I have thanked so many different people in our community for their efforts during 2020. I did save the best for last from my perspective, and that's none other than my own personal team and our communications team. You know, it's Cricket Moore, Mackenzie Jones, Jennifer Sweezy, our communications manager, and her entire communication teams. Wow, folks, I'll tell you, each and every one of them deserves to be recognized. Let me write this down here. No matter what the task or duty that was assigned to them, each one of them stepped up and met the challenge. MJ and Cricket, you guys were amazing this year, and you did tremendous work helping me, the City Council, and the community during the initial phases of the pandemic. To Jennifer and the communications team, it's very simple. You guys are rock stars. Your great transparency pieces and videos helped keep Broken Arrow informed throughout the entire year, especially during the pandemic. You know, I believe because of all of you and your commitment to this organization and the community, our city is well informed and definitely know what's going on around this great town. Thank you for all your hard work. I love you guys. Okay, who else? Oh, Russell Gale. What do you say about someone that has given over 40 years of their life to the same organization? Russell, thank you for 42 plus years of service to our community. You have served in a number of different positions and always answered the call when asked to serve. There is no doubt that because of your leadership and dedication, we're a better organization. I'm extremely grateful for all of your help, mentoring, and support since I started as city manager. Best of luck in your retirement and all future endeavors. Okay, it's time to close it out. Oh, last but certainly not least, I want to thank Jill and Luna Gray. I know we're all glad that 2020 is in the rearview mirror. Before we go, though, I want to express how much I appreciate all the love and support that you gave me this last year. No matter what the situation, you were always there for me. I'm extremely grateful for all of your support, encouragement, and love. Here's hoping that 2021 is a better year for all of us.
Oh, are we live? This just in. We have located Mr. Spurgeon and he is on his way over to Stony Creek. It's an exciting time as we get ready to hear the State of the City address. Stay tuned for more updates. We're going to head over to Stony Creek. Back to you.
It's State of the City, baby.
I close my eyes and I can see a world that's waiting for me that I call my own.
Whoa. Chief, what are you doing?
What's the hurry?
State of the City.
Oh, yeah?
I'm just listening to a little music, get ready, get my mind right, because I'm going to be presenting to the chamber. What's going on? You're going, right?
Yeah. I want to remind you a couple of things before you got there.
Yeah,
all the great things going on in the police department. We hired a new recruit class this year.
We did.
Graduated the Citizens Police Academy for Spanish speakers. And then we also have added new vehicles to the fleet. So it's been a great year.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I tell you, man, public safety is so important. I appreciate all that you and your leadership team does for the city.
Okay.
So.
All right. Well, are you in a hurry?
Yeah, I've got to get there.
I'll tell you what. Okay, well, how about you follow me? I'll get
Absolutely.
you there. All right.
Hey, one question. Is this the first time you've done a traffic stop?
This year, yeah.
Okay. All right, let's go.
Okay.
All right, baby, here we go. Ladies, let's do this. Give me some. Boom, boom. Here we go. Hey, Jen, how's it going? Ready?
Okay,
Everybody ready? Okay, let's do this.
Let's get his
All right,
jacket.
Mike,
Where's
Mike,
his water?
Mike.
We need
Okay,
hair and
jacket.
makeup. Microphones ready. Water, notes.
All right, Lisa. Really? Okay, put some a little up here. It's a little. Thank you. All right, left.
TJ.
Right. Okay. All right, folks. Here we go. All right, let's go.
I'm happy to report that Mr. Spurgeon is in the house and excited to give his State of the City address. Mr. Spurgeon, is there anything you'd like to say?
Aaron, how you doing? Without question, 2020 was a crazy year. However, Broken Arrow had an awesome year, and I can't wait to share all the great things that happened this year with the Chamber membership, so I'm looking forward to getting out there.
Amazing. We're excited.
Take care, my friend.
Well, as he makes his way to the stage, we'd like to thank everyone that helped make this video possible. Now get excited and get ready to go to hear the State of the City address from Broken Arrow City Manager, Mr. Michael Spurgeon.
Okay. Greetings to everyone out there in virtual land. It's great to be here with you today. I hope everyone's doing well and enjoying your lunch or finishing up your lunch. I do miss the chamber chicken that we normally have every single year, and hopefully next time we come to you for the State of the City, we'll be able to be back together. You know, I appreciate you joining us today to hear about some of the great things that happened in 2020. And through the video, we got an opportunity in a very lighthearted way to just show you that there was so much that happened in our community in 2020. I must confess that this is the first time that I've made such a formal presentation virtually. I'm a little bit nervous, actually. I'm excited at the same time. So let's go ahead and get this party started, as they say. So on behalf of Mayor Craig Thurman and the Broken Arrow City Council, welcome to the 2020 State of the City. This year's State of the City is being presented virtually, as I believe it's the safest way to share our annual update to the Chamber membership in the community. You know, it's hard to believe that it's been a little over a year since I came before the Chamber membership with the 2019 State of the City. You know, as they say, time does fly. Honestly, 2020 seems like a blur to me. You know, so much was happening in 2020 just as a part of the normal operations and the great things that we were doing in local government. And then came the unprecedented pandemic, which just exponentially increased the city's need for services and demands on resources. If you recall, last year, the theme for the State of the City was why we call Broken Arrow home. During the presentation, we heard from many individuals in the community on why they love Broken Arrow. To this day, I still get compliments on the great testimonies that we heard. I believe the love for the Broken Arrow community that we have shined through with all the challenges that we faced in 2020. So as I started to prepare for the State of the City this year, I was thinking about different or very simple themes that I could use, and I came to the conclusion that the theme for this year simply needed to be the importance of local government. You may ask, why did I choose this theme? Well, after all that we experienced in 2020, I could think of nothing more appropriate than to talk about the importance of local government. So hence, I'm excited to update you on what happened in 2020 and why I believe local government is so important to our city. You know, I think we can all agree that 2020 was a year unlike any that our nation, state, or city has ever experienced. Without question, it was a very tough year for all of us. Looking back, I was amazed at the speed and the scope of the coronavirus emergency and how it posed so many extraordinary challenges for both the public and private sectors in our city. You know, 2020 was filled with challenges that compelled all of us, including local government, community members, school district, individuals, and businesses alike. We all had to take actions that basically promoted restoration. We had to reimagine the way we do things. We had to focus on recovery and, most important, resiliency. At the local level, the unprecedented pandemic required an incredible amount of internal change in the way the city does business in serving its citizens. I'm proud to say, despite the many tough and necessary decisions that had to be made, we still found ways to work safely and serve our community. I'm very proud of the decisive actions and leadership that was demonstrated within the organization to help our community come through 2020. Okay, before we officially put 2020 in the proverbial rearview mirror, let's kick off the State of the City with my traditional recognitions and thank yous. I'd like everybody to hang with me because there are so many folks that I'd like to mention that helped make 2020 a successful year. First, and as always, I'd like to thank the Broken Arrow Chamber of Commerce for hosting this annual event. I appreciate the efforts of Jennifer Conway and her team for making this happen. Jennifer's been a great partner to the city, so I'm grateful for all of her leadership, support, and friendship. Again, we appreciate all of you joining us today for the State of the City. Let me send a thank you out to Vince Snelling and Stony Creek Hotel and Conference Center for hosting our event. We're very grateful. I'd also like to express my thanks to the city's communications team for the annual video and helping me put my presentation together. I need to send out a special recognition to Communications Manager Jennifer Sweezy and videographer Michael Godfrin for such a great annual video. You know, in the video we watched earlier, I absolutely meant that it was very lighthearted and somewhat just a little bit cheesy, but I wanted to once again demonstrate that despite the fact that we were in the middle of a pandemic, we still had a great year. It took about 45 minutes, if you're hanging with us, to talk about all the great things that happened. You know, I liked the video idea because I felt that would be more enjoyable than me standing up here for 45 minutes talking. So I hope that you enjoyed the video, and I want to thank Michael especially for him putting the video together, as well as the city council members, Jennifer Conway, and all the city staff members that participated. Let me express my gratefulness to several other folks within our community, and I'm going to start with our chamber leadership. Alvin Bailey and Jim Beavers, they served as our chairpersons for both the Chamber and the EDC. Thank you, gentlemen, for all that you did in 2020. I'd also like to congratulate incoming Chamber Board Chair Lauren Smith and EDC Board Chairman Scott Wise for stepping up and choosing to lead our organization this year. We're definitely looking forward to working with you in 2021. Let me also mention longtime EDC Board member Ted Cundiff. Ted's leaving the EDC after many years. Hopefully that's just temporary. I want to personally express my gratitude for his service, guidance, the friendship that he's given to me in the city, and all that he did as a member of our EDC. We're going to miss you, Ted, but hopefully once again you'll be back very soon. And on behalf of everyone in our community, let me thank you for all that you and AVB Bank do for our great community. I want to once again mention how much I appreciate the Chamber and EDC leadership creating the BA Rising Task Force. You know, Jennifer mentioned this last week in the annual meeting about the fact that the city and the EDC appropriated $140,000 to help businesses reopen during the initial stages of the pandemic. This was absolutely incredible. I need to specifically mention Darla Heller and Michelle Ondak for their leadership in helping make sure that those businesses that needed help got their applications completed so we could get the funding to them. Likewise, as a part of the BA Rising Task Force, we stayed in constant communication with our membership and many businesses within the community. I'd like to send a big shout out to the city's tourism and economic development team for all their help in contacting those businesses. I know they contacted many and it was greatly appreciated. I need to turn this time to thank all our school district officials for their leadership in helping keep our students, teachers, and staff members safe. That's been a very, very important thing this year. Let me also express my appreciation to the City Council and my leadership team for all their personal and collective efforts in 2020. You know, they say in challenging times, people will step forward if you let them. From the very beginning of this crisis last March, it quickly became clear that we had the right people in the right positions for our organization and community. I'd like to once again just mention that several of them were talked about in the video, but I just want them personally to know that I'm very proud of all of their efforts because we had to make some very, very difficult decisions this past year, and there were a lot of obstacles. And what I'm most proud of is regardless of what those obstacles are, they always found ways to rise above those obstacles and do what was best for the organization and for the community. Okay, moving on here. Let's see. Next thing I'd like to mention is I'd also want to talk about how grateful I am to all the incredible city employees that stayed on the front lines and kept honoring our commitment to the community. And speaking of employees, I need to recognize a few. First up, as I mentioned in the video, Assistant City Manager Russell Gale. He has decided to retire after 42 years of dedicated service. Thank you, Russell. You have served in so many different positions, and without question, your fingerprints are all over the Broken Arrow organization. We're definitely going to miss you, and we want to wish you the very best in the next chapter of your life. Next, and because of Russell's retirement, current Economic Development Manager Norm Stevens has been promoted to the position of Assistant City Manager of Administration. We're very much excited about working with Norm in his new position. And if you can see the picture on there, the first thing I'd like to say, Norm, I'd like for you to smile more. Okay, you just need to smile a lot more. There we go, right there. That's great. That's great. Finally, a huge shout out to IT Director Scott Carr and his team. They did some incredible work keeping us connected both internally and externally throughout the entire year. You did amazing stuff, Scott, and we're certainly glad that you're a part of our leadership team. And last, but certainly not least, thank you to the residents in the Broken Arrow community for their overall support of all the decisions that we had to make this year. Okay, moving on. This year, my formal presentation isn't going to be that long because of the length of the video. I do want to talk briefly about three things. First off, how's the city doing? And I've got some great accomplishments to share with you. Secondly is what I believe we focused on and accomplished during my first 5 years as city manager. And then finally, as always, what are going to be the things we're going to focus on in the 3 to 5 years? So here we go. For me, I want to say that practically everything I do or speak about centers around one thing, and that's about maintaining the great quality of life that currently exists in the Broken Arrow community. More specifically, we are constantly developing ideas and working on plans that make our community a better place for everyone who either lives here or chooses to visit us. It sounds easy, right? Well, let me share with you that it's really not. And why is that? I believe it's because of the different opinions or the views about what the community's priorities should be. Moreover, because we always have more wants and needs than there are resources, and this creates challenges both operationally and politically, and we have to overcome those opportunities and challenges. And I believe as a result, local government is where strong leadership is needed and service matters the most. At this level of government, you need leaders that listen and are focused on doing what they believe will make the quality of life in the community better. I'm proud to say we have these type of leaders in Broken Arrow. As you can imagine, some of the decisions we have to make can be very unpopular and do come with heavy criticisms. Just ask the council members. However, these decisions still have to be made. On a side note, sadly, I believe social media is contributing or is the main driver in the lack of civility that exists today. Clearly, we're not always going to agree, and I think that's okay. And I'm hoping that someday, very soon, we can get back to the era of more respect, understanding, and a willingness to listen to all points of view. These are the core conversational virtues that are universally appreciated, and they're sorely needed, in my opinion, in our society today. Now, moving back to quality of life, I understand this term means different things to different people. However, there are a handful of common characteristics, that I believe we all can agree upon. Local government, in my opinion, does so much that sometimes I think there are those out there that take for granted about what we do. Cities provide so much for their communities. In Broken Arrow, here's just a list of a few of the things that we do each and every day. First and foremost is public safety and emergency services. Second is trash and recycling collections, water and sewer, sanitary sewer operations, parks and recreation opportunities, public infrastructure improvements, plus we do so much, much more. So again, from this point forward, the remainder of my presentation is going to center on local government working to make things in Broken Arrow better. So moving on, how's Broken Arrow doing? Overall, I'm pleased to report that our economy is doing well, especially considering the fact that we experienced a pandemic the last 9 months of the year. Here are some of the indicators of how the city is doing. First, our population is up about 14%. The average household income now exceeds $73,000. Over 320 manufacturers continue to call Broken Arrow home. BA is one of the safest cities in Oklahoma. We're also the 11th safest city in America for cities over 100,000 population. Arguably, we have the best public schools in the state. In the area of community development, in building permits, we set a record this year. We had 847 new housing permits along with 51 new commercial permits. I want to send a round of kudos out to Community Development Director Larry Curtis and his great team. I believe these numbers demonstrate that the private sector continues to believe that Broken Arrow is a great investment. Our current budget for FY 2021 is just over $293 million. Yes, over $250 million for what we do. I believe that's impressive, folks. Likewise, our financial rating is very strong for a community our size. Moody's has us as a AA3, very stable for investors. This is extremely important for the issuance of general obligation bonds that we do every year to keep our infrastructure strong. I'm pleased to report that the administration is in compliance with the City Council's fund balance policies for reserves in both general government and our municipal utilities authority. Despite all the wants and needs that we have within the community, we must have rainy day funds for unexpected circumstances. I'm also pleased to share that we sold the third year of our 2018 general obligation bond package. That's nearly $20 million of additional funding for quality of life projects for roads, parks, public safety, and stormwater management. As I mentioned in the video, I want to take this opportunity personally to recognize the efforts of Engineering and Construction Director Ethan Edwards and his department for all their hard work last year. Ethan, he went above and beyond to help ensure that he got what his team needed so they can get projects moving in our community. I'd also like to mention Rocky Hinkle, our Street and Stormwater Director, and his department. You want to talk about talent, folks. Rocky and his team is full of it. Let me give you an example. The department stepped in this past September and they focused on completing the Washington Street road widening project that was languishing because of the failure of the contractor, in my opinion, to meet their obligations. This was huge, absolutely huge. And I want to thank Rocky and his team for stepping in and completing this important east-west road for our community. I'd also like to mention a very, very important decision that we made this past year is we transitioned to our new process for collecting trash and started a curbside collection program for recycles this past October. Now, I'll admit that we've hit a few operational bumps with the transition, but I'm very excited to announce that we will have our very first solid waste department director very soon, and I'm confident together we'll get things smoothed out quickly. So, I want to turn right now briefly and talk about what's been accomplished during my first 5 years. During my first 5 years as city manager, I spent a great deal of time working on action plans that I believe were necessary to transition the BA organization from a small town administration to one of higher expectations that is equipped to manage one of the 280th largest cities in America. That's right, BA is in the top 280. That's pretty incredible when you stop and think about all the cities in the United States. You know, there are many differences between small and medium-sized communities just besides population. I've learned two of the biggest differences are, number one, the speed and the magnitude of the decisions that have to be made. And secondly, is we have to have the ability to manage multiple big initiatives at one time. To be successful, you need a leadership team and employees that understand the importance of a higher level of expectations. A few of the areas that we have been focused on the last 5 years include, first and foremost, is developing internal and external partnerships that will help move our community forward. These relationships, as I have always said, are absolutely necessary. We definitely have to have good working relationships with organizations like Cox Communications, our county government, especially County Commissioner Stan Salee. I want to thank Stan personally for all his help in 2020. Also, Wagner County Economic Development Authority. You know, folks, most of the land that's available to be built in our community is in Wagner County, so having strong relationships with Wagner County Economic Development Authority or Rural Water District Number 4 are so important to make sure that we can provide services as the community grows. Also, I've always said this, you can't be a suburb of nothing, and that's why it's extremely important that we have a great relationship with the Tulsa Regional Chamber, because we want to see everybody in the region grow. Also, our public school districts, we're very grateful for the support and partnerships we have with them. Also, the utility companies that serve our city. Once again, it comes to infrastructure and you have to be working together. Plus, there's so many more relationships that we have to be able to keep Broken Arrow ceiling high. Secondly, we had to focus on financial stability. It's not going to be easy to make sure that you have adequate reserves in a large organization, because nobody likes to hear the word no. It's not very popular, but I am the type of person that believes that you need to make sure that the city will always have revenue for today, tomorrow, and in the future. The third thing, which I believe has a huge effect on a community success, is focusing on creating a team of servant leaders that understand what it takes to lead and manage a medium-sized U.S. city. I'm proud of the team that's been assembled, and I do believe in the coming years that it's only going to get better. And let me give you an example. Nearly every open position in our organization draws some incredibly talented candidates. I'm very excited about the fact that we have so many people in our organization that are preparing themselves for advancement within the organization, and that we have new folks that are wanting to join the city's team. The next thing we focused on was economic development. Working with the Chamber, we've developed a public-private economic development administration model that works together and is meeting the needs of the city of our size. I'm pleased to report that the Chamber, EDC, and City are working closely together to continuously create an environment that fosters private investment. The final thing I want to mention is we've created and implemented a plan for public infrastructure projects. To me, moving our projects from the initial stages of design into construction is extremely important, and also the passage of the 2018 bond package. That's over $210 million of investment and reinvestment that's going to be going into our community. These are a couple of my top priorities, and I'm proud to tell you that we have plans to manage these funds for the next 7 to 10 years. We must ensure that we have a strong foundation on which the community is built upon. Now, I believe all these initiatives have set us up nicely for the future and will ensure we are capable of managing the growth that I know we're going to experience. So as we start to wrap up the presentation just a little bit, let me focus on what's ahead for 2020 and the next 3 to 5 years. For me, it's really very simple. Local government officials must continually address the components that create a great quality of life, which I believe include making sure we have sound public policy, great leadership, effective implementation of policy, and that we have sound and disciplined fiscal policies. You know, folks, personally, I will never be satisfied with the status quo. Never. One of the most important priorities, besides what I just mentioned, is to be proactive and make sure our organization is prepared for change. We all know that change is going to happen, and even more rapidly than it ever has before. As a result, we need a nimble organization that possesses the ability to adapt to whatever is thrown at us, as well as the community. Accordingly, we will focus on the following 5 areas, as I believe they will ensure we build upon the great quality of life that we have. First and foremost, it's about public safety. It's that simple, folks. I believe that you need a safe community to ensure its long-term success. For me, this is where it starts and where it ends. You know, we've all seen communities where public safety wasn't or isn't a top priority, and the subsequent results. That's not going to happen in Broken Arrow while I'm city manager, and I know the council members feel the same way. Public safety has to be a priority of the city council and the community in order for us to have a great community. You know, with regard to public safety, all you have to do is look at our facilities, vehicles, equipment, or the compensation packages that we offer to know that we have made a commitment to public safety that is second to none. I'd like to take this opportunity to again thank Chief Berryhill, Chief Moore, and everyone in the public safety departments for all that you do. Everyone needs to rest assured that we got your backs. So, what do we need to do with regard to public safety? The things that we need to include are, number one, we need to maintain and further strengthen our partnerships within the community. We have some great ones. We have to nurture those. We have to build those and expand those to make sure we have a good relationship with our citizens and businesses. Secondly, we need to continue to be proactive in our crime prevention efforts and ultimately reduce crime. Again, our efforts to date have yielded us as being the 11th safest city in America, over 100,000. And then finally, we have to work to continue to have the best fire and EMS department in the state of Oklahoma. That's been proven by the fact that we now have the best ISO rating in the nation, and that's as a result of all the hard work of those in the fire department to make sure that they have the resources to be able to meet the needs of our community. The second area, I like to say economic development. It's the fuel that runs the city and the community's engines. Working with the Chamber and EDC, we will offer training, job placement, and we will work to increase the number of jobs in the local workforce. How are we going to do that? It's really very simple. We're going to continue to pursue transformational public and private partnerships. Some of the examples of the priorities that we're going to continue or will focus on include our innovation district. That's going to create tremendous opportunities for us over the next 10 to 15 years. Secondly, is we've got to secure a grocery store and related commercial development in South Broken Arrow. Third, we're going to work on the revitalization of the New Orleans Square. At this point, I'd like to take this opportunity, as I did in the video, to thank the citizens that participated on the advisory committee for all their hard work. They did great things for us, and we're already implementing their recommendations. Next, we need to help the developer complete the Creek 51 Business Park. That's going to create high-paying jobs for our community. We also need to maintain the health and vitality of our award-winning roads district. There are so many opportunities that still remain for the district, and we need to capitalize upon them whenever the time comes. We also need to provide competitive but responsible economic development incentives. This is extremely important because incentives are a part of today's economic development agreements. And then finally, we need to increase retail activity in the community because that gives folks an opportunity to shop local. The third area is innovative government. We have to continue to increase customer satisfaction and community engagement in the public policy process where we can. Secondly, is we have to promote accountability through performance management and transparency. Third, we need to increase operational efficiency through technology, especially digital communication and engagement. You're going to be hearing a lot about that in the coming years. And then finally, one of my most important internal goals is develop and retain a 21st century excellent workforce. The fourth area, basically you got to have the resources to be able to provide great service, fiscal sustainability, and strategic investment. We will ensure that our budget is always structurally balanced. We will continue building and strengthening our community's infrastructure. We will work to mitigate risk through sufficient financial reserves. And then finally, we will continually be working on making sure that we have long-range strategic and financial plans for our community. And the last area, which certainly is not the least, is we want to be a thriving and healthy community. And first, what we need to work on, I believe, is achieving health equity for everyone. Secondly, we need to create and maintain public spaces that foster social cohesion. We also need to improve our transportation and connectivity within the community. We need to make sure that everyone has the opportunity to be mobile within our city. And then finally, and this is very important, is we need to continue to advance or enhance neighborhood revitalization. The committee will begin to hear more about these priorities later this year and well into the future. Okay, so it's time to officially for me to start wrapping things up. So let me close with a quote that I use frequently. In fact, I have it hanging on my wall, and it's really very simple. It takes vision, courage, and tenacity to move a community forward. Vision, courage, and tenacity. I'm asking everyone that's in a leadership position within our community to keep these three internal drivers in mind going forward. Over my career, I've learned building a community is really like a journey, and it takes everyone's help to reach that destination. In other words, it's imperative that we in the public sector have a great relationship with our partners as well as the private sector so we can make plans and we can implement the better quality of life for everyone in our city. The City Council and I are excited about Broken Arrow's future. We will continue to work to create an environment that promotes success across all sectors of our city. We will also work to develop proposals that are clearly in the community's best interest. We hope that you'll stay engaged and will help us along this journey because we can't do it alone. We sincerely appreciate the partnerships that we have with the Chamber of Commerce and Broken Arrow Public School District. We receive support from both of those entities nearly every single day. And I want to assure everyone that we'll continue to work to provide great local government services to all of you. So as I close this presentation, I'm asking everyone in our community to continue to support our local businesses, our community groups, and civic organizations. Each of these entities make up who we are and why we call Broken Arrow home. I'd like to thank everybody for attending this year's State of the City. God bless each of you, our veterans, our city, our state, and of course our great nation. And until next time, take care, and I look forward to seeing you around town.